But guess what? We got a big game for you guys tonight. Week 12 of the NFL season will wrap up with the Bears and the Vikings in this one. Obviously, both teams coming off crushing losses. The Vikings still very much in the NFC playoff picture as well. Let's take a look at where the line is right now. It moved slightly half a point there, as you can see, in favor. Now it's at 3 in favor of the Vikings. We're going to get our player props into the mix in this one. But, Brad, what are you looking at?
Yeah, of course, guys, I'm looking at the SGP market. So on this two-legger, the way I'm playing this is give me Minnesota on the money line, and I'm going to take the total down to 33.5 and hit that over. I think points will be somewhat plentiful in this game. You look at Minnesota, similar to San Francisco, they are the epitome of balance. Number 11 in EPA offense on the season, number 10 in EPA defense. Bears near the bottom of the barrel in both of those categories. And you look at Chicago, they have really struggled mightily on the road. They have dropped 9 of their last 10 road games, and in this series, they have lost 7 of their last 10 against the Vikings. So I think it's going to be nip and tuck, but in a game that could be like 23-20, I feel the over on that alt line is going to hit, and Minnesota's going to score the victory.
NFL favorites 12-3 against the spread so far here in Week 12. Ooh, that's insane. Biggest week for sports bettors this NFL season, that's for sure. All right, I'm taking a look at a player prop in this one. In fact, I'm going to slap 2 of them together. Ty Chandler to get 10-plus receiving yards and pair that with DJ Moore to get 50-plus receiving yards. And you get that in plus territory at plus 125. Let's start with DJ Moore because obviously he leads the Bears with his receiving yards. He's averaging 80 yards per game, and the Vikings defense has allowed the 7th most yards to receivers. And then if you take a look at Ty Chandler, he's splitting a lot of his time with Madison, and he actually outperformed him last week. Caught all 4 of his targets, turned it into 37 yards. He's been very efficient. I do think that his efficiency carries over against this Bears team as well. So I'm loving the plus territory here for the 2 of them. Cam, what are you looking at?
All right, well, let's keep the SGP love going. I'm in the lab with you and Brad in this one. So I'm going to mess around with that spread and go with the Bears to try and cover it at plus 5.5, and then stay with that DJ Moore love. So I'm going with him to get 4 receptions. And when you look at his stats in terms of that, you talk about this, Danny, with him leading the Bears in receptions, receiving yards, every single thing that you think about when it comes to the Bears wide receiver room. He is that guy for them. But this is a guy that has at least 4 catches in 8 of his last 11 games. And when we look at the Vikings secondary, they will allow you to cook. They allow the 3rd most receptions of any team in the NFL. So I'm liking the odds for DJ Moore against his secondary. But when you look at the spread for the Bears, they covered it in back-to-back games. But more importantly, when Justin Fields starts and he plays the entire game, they've covered it in 3 straight. So I'm loving this, and also at plus 115, a little early, seduced by the juice with this ball game tonight.